Adding and subtracting decimals. The objectives in this lesson are 1. To add and subtract decimals, and 2. To solve applications involving adding and subtracting decimals. Add or subtract as indicated. First, we will line up the decimal points in the numbers vertically. We will add zeros as needed as placeholders. Then we will add as you would in whole numbers. The decimal point comes straight down into the sum. 8 plus 9 is 17. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. And 17 plus 7 is 24. My decimal comes straight down. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 2 is 7. So we have 17 and 47 hundredths. When we're adding and subtracting decimals, 1. Change all subtraction to addition of the opposite number. 2. Write the numbers so that the decimal points are aligned and add zeros as placeholders as needed. 3. Follow the rules for adding signed numbers. And 4. Align the decimal point in the answer with the decimal point in the numbers being added. Since the absolute value of negative 12.5 is greater than the absolute value of 4.8, we need to put the negative 12.5 on top. Since our signs are different, we're subtracting. "15 take away 8 is 7. My decimal comes straight down. And 11 take away 4 is 7. Our answer is negative, since the absolute value of negative 12.5 is larger than the absolute value of 4.8. In this example, first I'm changing the subtraction to addition. First, I'm going to add the two positive numbers, the 8.72 and the 3.6. 2 plus 0 is 2. 7 plus 6 is 13. 1 and 8 is 9, and 9 plus 3 is 12. My decimal's coming straight down. So now I have the negative 15 to add to the 12.32. Since the absolute value of negative 15 is greater than the absolute value of 12.32, then negative 15 needs to go on top. My signs are different, so I'm subtracting. Ten take away 2 is 8. 9 take away 3 is 6. My decimal comes straight down. And 4 take away 2 is 2. My answer is negative because 15 is larger than 12.32. Add or subtract as indicated. First, I'll change the subtraction to addition. Since I have a negative 3.8 and a negative 9.1, I'm going to add those together first. Eight plus 1 is 9. My decimal comes straight down. 9 plus 3 is 12. So I have a negative 12.5, negative 12.9. So I need to add that to the 0.145. And since the absolute value of negative 12 is greater than 0, the negative 12.9 will need to be on top. And the 0.145 will be on the bottom. I'll need to put some placeholders behind the 9. And my signs are different, so I'm subtracting. You can't take 5 away from 0, so we're needing to regroup from the 9. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 4 is 5. 8 take away 1 is 7. My decimal comes straight down. And my answer is negative, since the absolute value of negative 12 is obviously greater than 0. Add or subtract as indicated. I'm going to change my subtraction to addition, which makes the 6.25 negative. Notice my signs are the same now. I have a negative 5.9 and a negative 6.25. My signs are the same, so I'm adding. I'm going to put a 0 here as a placeholder. 0 plus 5 is 5. 9 plus 2 is 11. 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. My decimal comes straight down. My answer is negative because my signs are the same. Negative 12 and 1500ths. Add or subtract as indicated. I'm going to change my subtraction to addition of the opposite number. So I have a 7.1 and I have a negative 3.457. The 7 needs to be on top. And the negative 3.457 needs to be on the bottom. I need a couple zeros behind the 1. And I need to regroup because you can't take 7 from 0. So I'm regrouping from the 1. Makes that a 10. 10 take away 7 is 3. 9 take away 5 is 4. I can't take 4 from 0. 10 take away 4 is 6. My decimal comes straight down. 6 take away 3 is 3. 3 and 643 thousandths, and it's positive because 7 is larger than 3. Subtract negative 8.3 from 16.23. So if we wrote this expression, we would have 16.23 minus a negative 8.3. So first we'll change the subtraction to addition. We'll take the opposite of the negative 8.3. So now notice both of our numbers are positive. We have a 16.23 and an 8.3. If you want to put a 0 behind that 3, you can. And our signs are both positive, so we're just adding. 2 plus 3 is 5. The decimal straight down. 8 and 6 is 14. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 24 and 53 hundredths. Solving applications involving adding and subtracting decimals. Dan filled his gas tank 3 times last week. Here are the amounts he bought in gallons. 7.49, 13, and 8.4. What is the total amount of gas Dan bought last week? This is an addition problem. Line up the decimal points and insert zeros as placeholders. Add as in whole numbers and bring the decimal point straight down into the answer. 9 plus 0 is 9. 4 plus 4 is 8. Notice the decimal came straight down. 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 plus 8 is 18, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 28.89 gallons of gas. Chris drives 36.5 miles to work each day. If he has already driven 5.8 miles, how many miles does he have left to drive? So this is a subtraction problem. 36.5 minus 5.8. So I'm going to change the subtraction to addition. And my signs are different, so I will be subtracting. The 36 is on top because it's greater than 5. 15 subtract 8 is 7. My decimal comes straight down. 5 take away 5 is 0. So 30.7 miles are remaining to drive. Kathy bought 3 books for classes. The costs were $18, $7.66, and $8.21. What was the total cost of her books? So we'll be adding. We have 18. Notice the decimal's behind the 8, so I'm going to write that as $18 like that. $7.66 and $8.21. My decimal points are lined up. 6 plus 1 is 7. 6 plus 2 is 8. My decimal comes straight down. 8 plus 7 is 15, and 15 plus 8 is 23. And 2 plus 1 is 3. They're $33.87. Jim has a piece of rope that is 5 meters long. He cuts away a piece that is 1.27 meters long. How long is the remaining piece of rope? So we started out with 5 meters. We're going to subtract 1.27 meters. So let's change the subtraction to addition of the opposite number. Change, change. And so the 5 is going to have to be on top because it's larger than 1. So I'm going to have a 5. The decimal's behind the 5. 5.00 and a negative 1.27. My signs are different, so I'm subtracting. I can't take 7 from 0, so I'm regrouping. 10 take away 7 is 3. 9 take away 2 is 7. And 4 take away 1 is 3. So the remaining piece of rope is 3.73 meters long. Review of lesson objectives. After completing this lesson, you should be able to 1. Add and subtract decimals, and 2. Solve applications involving adding and subtracting decimals.